Booked again for Rolling Loud. This time we are in New York. The front of this building may look familiar. It is 368, the studio of Casey Neistat and where he films all his vlogs. We got about 20 minutes before the event starts. We're gonna do a team meeting. That's some of our marketing material from Rolling Loud Miami. That actually might be straight from the media team, not the sponsorship team. But this is the event for tonight. Not really sure what's gonna happen, but it's 3 hours and supposedly 400 people RSVP'd.
Hello people, welcome to the party. Say what's up, welcome to Lasers.
This production company is called Respective Collective. It's a group of young people in New York who are expanding very quickly. So quick team meeting to align ourselves on the goals for tonight, meet everybody. And one really interesting thing they're doing is putting out the recap of this party within a few minutes after it finishes. So they have live editors taking in all this footage from tonight. Event doors just open. There it goes. So good vibes, a typical Sights and Sounds recap. You can check it on their Instagram at Respective Collective. We packed down and then got ready for day one of Rolling Loud, New York. Coming from Orlando, you do have to adjust a bit to the public transportation system. I'm used to taking my car or Uber somewhere, and it is a little intimidating when you're at the kiosk looking at transfers and trains and everything you got to do. But we're on site. Some of the crew is the same, some of them are different. So I'm excited to see who they are, what they do, and how we can, come together to create some really good products that fulfill the client's requests. Got a quick second before we do an interview with an artist. So it's just a simple Rode Lav on top, monitoring audio in camera. Very, very simple. And the key here is to be as fast and seamless as possible because the artist does not have a lot of time. Finished interview one. Now we're going for our second project with Modelo, and we're going to be having a stick mic. So they gave me this receiver. There's a transmitter stick mic that we'll be using for the host, and just have to, I've never used this system, but it's as simple as plug and play. And I carried some rechargeable batteries because the ones that were in here were dead. So I'm always glad to carry extras. So I was able to get some B-roll of the gates opening and people walking in. It's good to grab whatever B-roll you can. But back onto this assignment for Modelo. Speedy from Complex, you may recognize him, is going to be doing some candid interviews with festival goers. And it is extremely windy, so I'm surprised at how well the audio is doing from the mic. But we met up with a couple people, got to have a quick interview with Nems from Side Talk. He actually reposted this story that I did, which is pretty cool. You never know who's gonna repost your stuff when you tag them. But this is essentially what it was. Speedy being the host, and then him pointing the mic towards whoever's talking. And he is a pro for sure. He knows how to be on the technical side of audio and not have it affect the energy in the moment. So more at the Modelo activation site, and then we wrap up for the night. And as far as shooting goes, hand footage off to our editors and see what they can make from day one. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's it. That's it for sure.
I love that last shot.
Wow. Day two, got a full night's sleep, so we're gonna do another probably 12-hour day. I got 5 minutes before we leave for the event site, just grabbing a coffee, and it's really interesting talking to each of these freelancers. Every contractor here their story, how they got here, and kind of the phrase that we've been agreeing on is you typically hear it's who you know, but it's kind of changed more to it's who knows you, and that is how probably 80% of the people here are here. It's because someone else threw their name into the bag, including me. That's what my buddy Ashton did for me, and as I ask every single one of these people, it's either I reached out to someone that I hadn't talked to in a couple of years, or someone I know was talking to someone here, and that conversation had a need for a photographer, a videographer, and they threw my name in without me even knowing about this job or the company or the assignment, anything like that. So just further pushing the network is king ideology that I just keep seeing re-emphasized over and over again. And right now, day 2, we're not sure what the assignments are, but it's going to be brand integrations. Yesterday was hectic, fun, but we did handle all the deliverables, and we're expected to do the same today. To reiterate, we are the sponsorship team, so not the typical media team that you think of when you see them in the pit shooting the artists. We are creating content specifically for the headline sponsors or any of the sponsors who asked for a deliverable for this event. So in this case, if we're going to this monster activation site, our goal is to get the exteriors, get the product, get anything they have that looks unique. So they have this awesome spray painting area, and that way when we get enough coverage, wide, medium, tights of everything, we can use it for any purpose we need in the editing room. Based on how Miami went, I decided to use the exact same gear. So my Zhiyun Crane 2, renting an A7S3 and the Zeiss 16-35 f4, which the camera does so well in low light that f4 has not been a problem. Directly behind the main stage, we just got our next assignment. We're gonna, right as the artist gets off stage, we're gonna convene with him, put this microphone on him, and he's gonna walk to a sponsor's activation site. I think it's a quick interview, him engaging with the product, and that's it. So very fast paced. Obviously the artist time is limited. So batteries, memory cards, everything's got to be perfect. That group behind me was the artist who was just on stage. He took this van over here, came out, we shot the spot right here in about 4 minutes, had a lavalier on him, did the brand integration, and then now he's going back into the artist area. So extremely fast, no room for error. Really cool moment. Ava, one of our photographers who was also in Miami, extremely young, but she was able to get probably the most unique photo of the weekend. She got on top of the shoulders of our PA and was able to get this almost Renaissance style painting of all the backup dancers on stage, each character doing a unique action. So our team was hyped, the other teams in the room were hyped. It was really cool to witness.
Oh my god.
I was telling him, like, bro, he needs to stick to music videos. Fuck this branded shit.
That zzz, zzz at the end, like, that's so tough. Wait.
No!
Okay, why is it gotta be so fire though?
Oh my
What the
god.
hell?
That's,
What
oh
the
my
hell?
god.
Yo, that's the best reaction when she's really, like, genuinely mad.
That's
End of day 2. Supposedly tomorrow is a much easier day. We did most of our big brand integrations today, so we don't even know what we're doing tomorrow, but supposedly a lighter day. It's super impressive when you see someone take their position to the max. And by that I mean our PA Henry was the most proactive, ambitious PA I've ever worked with. So he brought this refrigerator in, stocked it with drinks, had food available and ready for the team immediately as catering was open, and no one asked him to do any of this. He just took it upon himself to solidify his position on set, and I hope he's here for every single production that we do from here on out. But back to some technical stuff. Charging Zune batteries on site, and like I said, simple camera setup as always. I always bring that power strip with me, and it proves to be helpful every single time, and especially that smaller one with the USB ports on it too. A lot of times you don't have as much outlets as you want.
Let's go. Hosted by Still More. We got some ego. Let nothing happen to that thing. We not going to let nothing happen to the core.
Supposedly there is 100% chance of rain in about 30 minutes, so we just found our artist who's going to be doing the GoPuff integration, Jaleel, so we're going to try to get that now even though it's scheduled for 4:30, do it an hour early. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've thought I had an audio issue, no signal coming through, but this had battery, this had battery. I thought it was a bad cable, and it was always at the worst time right before we're about to shoot. Luckily I haven't made that mistake in a long time, but it usually just means the headphone and the audio inputs are backwards. We shoot in the field and then we come back to the office to offload. We do that over and over, multiple times a day. I was averaging about 15,000 steps. One thing you really want to keep in mind is with this many people, with this many photographers, videographers, and pieces of similar gear, is to mark everything. Mark your batteries, mark your charging cables, SD cards, because lens caps, because things will get misplaced or mistaken, and it's good to be able to know whose is whose. We're shooting for GoPuff. This is their activation site. We're getting the time lapse right during twilight, so we can see the LEDs light up with the darkness of the sky. The rain finally did come during the headliner Futures set, so everybody got drenched except for me. I was still in the office, but our producer Orlando and his assistant Tabby had a really cool idea that they set up the night before to surprise the entire crew with before everybody departed.
Sign them, and we're all gonna sign one. Please, we're all gonna sign one for me because I'd love to keep that. And we're also gonna give one to the. Well, yeah, we got one for everyone for sure. So.
Yeah, bro, I don't actually have one. Yeah, my shit is like a. Yep.
Your phone is trash.
I know, bro. My phone, I know.
Yeah, there you go. Can you get some
I don't know
video
why
of
my
her?
camera is
It's an iPhone.